Hi guys, welcome to the Social Work Race podcast. Appreciate that you're listening. It's a lovely experience just talking into the mic in the hope that this is meaningful for you. Just to give you a heads up as well, we have a good lineup of sessions coming up this week for an interesting set of topics, and I think next week, so today's date is the 14th of August. So next week we've got a good lineup, and we've got also coming a very interesting discussion on diversity. We know that's PCF, from memory, PCF 4 of the Professional Capabilities Framework. It's always good to look at that. That's a big thing in society now. We've got a really good discussion from a couple of professionals out there with very interesting insights and what diversity means. What does it look like through the eyes of minorities? We don't want to just assess through what we read online. We want to have, if we can have really good discussions about what does it mean to be and I say minority, that's an interesting term. What does that mean? But what does it mean to be a minority? And what's your current, we're talking about professionals now, really experienced people. What is your current definition and experience? What do you feel? What's happening to you currently where you live? Interesting, right? And they're both Australian as well. They live in residents of Australia, I should say. That's coming up. But today, this is a really brief session. This is a really brief session. I hope it's really good learning for you. And I'm like, how much time do I need to, I could say it's brief, but it could end up being 20 minutes again, right? But I say it's brief. But it's a really important tip for you if you are working with families. So, for example, you get a referral in, whether you're working in child protection, child in need, the assessments team, and that referral comes in for a family. We already have concluded as a group, including yourself, that this is a child in need, a child protection investigation, serious concerns. You go out and meet the family. I'm going to give you a piece of advice. It works for me a lot, and it's helped me improve my practice and working with my families. And I want you to know that relationships with families are so important, and not everybody, even though we all have the same degree or qualification, master's degree or whatever it might be, we're not all good at everything that needs to be done. I have areas of development and I have strengths as well. One of my strengths is that I'm good at working with people face to face. I do a lot of mental planning before I work with a family. I'd advise you to do that. You've got to kind of, so I said it's going to be brief, but it's not now. As I'm reading the paperwork, I've got a vision of who they are in my head, but actually it's 99% of the time it's wrong. I don't know who they are. No matter what that assessment says, I have no idea who I'm working with. Okay. Whatever other people say, this is important. No matter what other people say, I still have no idea who this family is. So I've kind of stopped, I say kind of because it's difficult to kind of stop completely, but I've kind of stopped guessing who they are. And I'm about, look, let me start from scratch. And I'm really cool with just starting from scratch. Let me start from scratch with this family. I'll step into the home. I want to see for myself. Yeah. When you know that it's going down a child protection route because of the level of allegations and the evidence for your assessment, right, or the work, my advice to you is this. You've got to be really honest with the family about where this is going. Now, of course, you have to say, but there's a way to do it. See, when you step through that door, at some point, you've got to let them know this is where it's going, but I'm here to help, because we don't want it to stay at this child protection status. We want to get you out of that status. We're going to make a plan for you. Hear this, guys. Hear this. We're going to make a plan for you. We're going to work this out to the best that we can. You're going to have to employ some trust in me, and you're going to have to be honest with me. My aim is to help you develop some skills, or whatever the issue might be, or explore this. The plan is not against you. The plan is for you. You got to tell them that the professionals get together, no matter what's said, we have to make a plan, and we are all accountable to make changes here. We have to support you. You have to tell us what you need. But I'm here to help. Now, there's a downside to that, because you could become so friendly or so in favor with them that giving them bad news can compromise you. So this is it. Now you gotta be honest with the situation and honest with them, and don't become too close that you're compromised. So the way that you kind of balance that off is by being very truthful in a caring way. Caring means that it has to be evident. They have to see it. They have to know it. You have to be honest with them and say, this cannot continue. You can't hit your kid. You can't call them those names. You're disabling your child, But would you like me to help you or show you some skills or refer you to a service that will help you overcome that? You got to be honest, but really helpful. Your tone, your demeanor, all of that plays an important role. Did I say it was brief? It's that brief. But you balance your approach by being real honest. Don't be afraid to say what it is. Be truthful, but be nice. That's it. I want to throw something else in there as well, actually. Whilst we're here. It's my podcast, I can do that, right? Okay, yeah. Sometimes the way that we approach a home, this is it now. This is where barriers are built up, yeah. I remember a friend of mine, also a social worker, was saying you got to have that badge around your neck when you approach the home. I don't do that. Okay, if they want to see my badge, it's in my pocket. Why? Because I don't want to announce to the neighborhood that I'm a social worker. They see that badge around my neck, they know. Do you know what I mean? So I also don't necessarily, quote unquote, look like a social worker. Because again, I don't want to announce to the neighborhood that I'm someone formal. I could put on a suit, I could put on a jacket. No, actually, I dress like almost like the people in the community or in the wider community. Okay? Why? Because dress is a barrier. The way that we present our tone. I've heard of social work clients, service users who hate social workers, and I could tell. I said, why do you say that? Because I've got really good colleagues. Or what are you talking about? And it's because of the way that social workers sometimes present. They present as this abstract person on high, and the connection is key. The connection is key. We've got to approach these families as a human being, professional, as someone who genuinely wants to help. We have to do that because we've got to get results. The main aim of our presence is to help that family, guide that family. Not necessarily to solve their problems, but to guide them onto a path where it's better. And I don't see how you can do that with all those barriers. The way that we talk, the jargon that we might use, it's all a barrier. We've got to be really careful about our approach, and maybe we just need to just dress it down sometimes. I'm not talking to everyone, but for those of you who know, just dress it back a little bit, and present yourself as a human. We will meet ignorance, we will meet resistance, we will meet aggression, but it's worth a discussion. If you don't agree, let me know, but that's the best we have, because we're dealing with people who are struggling with their daily or their current circumstances. So here we are as humans. Dress it down, be honest, be truthful, be friendly, and then you play it from there. Thanks for listening. Please share, please subscribe. If you have any comments, just message me at thesocialworkrace@gmail.com, or you can get me through LinkedIn. Look after yourself.